Ladies and gentlemen, would everyone please stand for the pledge? At this time, I would like to introduce Dave Hahn, Lackawanna County Director of Emergency Services, Army veteran who served for 6 years, and 101st Airborne with one tour in Central America. Director Hahn has an aircraft rescue specialist earning 2 Army Commendations Medal, 2 Army Achievement Medals, and a Good Conduct Medal, and an Air Assault Badge. He is a graduate of the Non-Commissioned Officers Academy, and he's also a retired state trooper. I would like to thank you for your service, sir. The floor is yours.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would everyone just stand for a moment of silence? We have Meade County Sheriff's Office, Kentucky. Deputy Sheriff Chris Halsley suffered a fatal heart attack after struggling with the subject while executing a search warrant. Florida Highway Patrol, Florida. Trooper Tracy Vickers was killed in a vehicle crash while on patrol. Harris County Sheriff's Office, Texas. Deputy Sheriff Sapid Dahal was shot and killed while conducting a traffic stop. Meadville Police Department, Louisiana. Captain Vinny Liberto was shot and killed at the intersection of Causeway Boulevard at 122 USA 190 following a vehicle pursuit. New York City Police Department, New York. Police officer Brian Malkin was inadvertently shot and killed by another police officer as he attempted to arrest a subject armed with a legal handgun. Please keep our heroes and their families in their thoughts and prayers when they go through this, while they're going through this devastating time in their lives. I don't know where we would be without our first responders. Thank you. I'd like to bring the Wednesday, October 2nd, 2019 Board of Commissioners meeting to order 10 a.m. at the Lackawanna County Commissioners Conference Room, Lackawanna County Government Center, 123 Wyoming Avenue at the Globe. I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the minutes from last Commissioners meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Proclamation presentations, 19-0254, Good Work Certificate, in recognition of Captain Menicosi Memorial Race Committee. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge my good friend, Captain James R. Menicosi. This race is dedicated to all the things that he loved. He loved the boys club. He loved West Granton. He was I think he received a scholarship to Lackawanna College. I think he received the first one when we actually gave the building over to Lackawanna. He was a school board member. He was a tremendous father, son, brother, nephew, uncle, cousin, friend, second to none. And this picture has been in my office. He actually gave me this picture. I have this picture for a long time, but this has been in my office for years. And that's on a shelf in my office, and that's my good friend. And he was a Bronze Star recipient, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, he did a little bit of everything, and he's deeply missed every day. And to Mr. and Mrs. Menicosi, your son was the best, the very best. I love him the best. I love you guys too. The floor is yours.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Sure. Good morning.
What would you like us to tell you about the race?
Let's talk about this race. Let's talk about what a great Saturday morning it is, and the causes and the great runners that are there. It's a great 3.1 mile race course. Goes out to Greenwood Street, comes straight back Washington, right down to La Festa, which Jimmy Menicosi was very, very involved in. And nowhere else he'd rather finish and start than downtown Scranton.
Absolutely. Well, I want to say good morning and thank you for having us here and for the acknowledgement. Jimmy would be very proud.
He's the best.
He was, and he still is.
Yes.
And we have an amazing community that rallies for him every year for this memorial race. He was a board director of La Festa Italiana, and he was on the Unico. And when he had passed away, he had started the race the previous year to raise funds towards Unico and towards our community. So they unanimously had voted to name the race in memory of him. So it kicks off La Festa Saturday every year over Labor Day weekend. And we've grown the event from just a couple dozen participants to having our biggest year this year. We had 174 participants. And we have given back $65,000 to the children in our community in only 7 years. The main beneficiaries are the Boys and Girls Club for the Children's Christmas Party. My brother used to chair it every year through the Unico Scranton Foundation. And they used to have 100 children. We've raised enough proceeds where we now have 300 children. We even bus 50 up from Luzerne County. We make sure they have a hot catered meal from Alfredo's. Last year they received warm embroidered hooded sweatshirts, winter hats, gloves. They have 4 hours of festivities, Christmas caroling, a visit with Santa and Mrs. Claus. And the past 3 years, because we were able to raise enough proceeds, we've now opened up college scholarships as alma mater, West Scranton High School, where we award 2 children going into college scholarships in memory of him.
Yes.
I apologize, I'm a little nervous, and I always get emotional. I could talk about my brother forever. He was just an extraordinary man, and it's great to see how our community pulls together, not just in memory of him, but to honor his memory, and also for the cause, for the children who benefit, and just to see how much it's grown over the years. It's amazing. It's really amazing.
Leslie, he was a war hero. He was like he was a little bit of everything that makes him into who he was.
He was with Gino Murley Veteran Center. He was board of director chairman for the pro-life committee. He was with the Boys and Girls Club as a member. And I could just keep going on, but it's really nice to see for a change people giving back in memory of him. When great things are going on in the community, as you know, Pat,
Yeah.
he was always involved. Whether people knew it or not, he was just always involved.
Even it was behind the scenes, like, we used to do parades and stuff together. Oh my God, there's so many different things. But yeah, even if it was behind the scenes or right out front.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about what's the date next year. Do we have it set yet?
Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to throw that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's Saturday.
Saturday, September 5th, Labor Day weekend, 10 a.m. We will start opening up registration in May because we never want to miss the opportunity to get the name out there,
Looking for
get the
sponsors,
word
right?
out there,
Sponsors.
the cause, sponsors, and like I say, our community is so generous, and they ask us to reach out early. And it's nice because we've made friends along the way, stuff we didn't even know, people who knew my brother, things he's done for them we didn't even know about. I mean, a Vietnam vet had contacted me this year and donated a lot of prizes that we were able to give out as awards at his race. And they were telling me stories about him, and now I make a point of visiting them once a month. They've actually became friends just from the littlest donation to them. Means the world to me just to hear things about my brother.
Absolutely. Friends of the family you choose.
The other thing, too, the donations that we've been getting, people who are in the running family can't believe for a $20 donation pre-registration, 25 day of, they can have an opportunity to win over $1,000 in prizes. Some of the top prizes that we gave.
I couldn't believe the prizes yet.
Your son was one of the winners.
My son walked away with a bunch of prizes. My son won his age group. It was 12 and under. He got two tickets to the movies. He got a $25 gift certificate for Gino Francesco's.
Yes.
He got 2 dozen glazed donuts, and he got 2 VIP passes for Roma's Family Farm, which
And
is very,
his medal.
and his medal, and he won his age group. But no, he did very well in the race. But no, he said to me, he goes, are all the races like this? I said, no. I said,
Only
no,
the
this is an
Captain
amazing
James
race.
Arminicosi Memorial Race.
Only this is the only one. They might have a basket raffle and other things, but nothing like this, you know?
Well, because La Festa has, through their Unico stand, they have raffles, we can't raffle anything. So that's why our prizes we give to the participants. And we gave, as Jermaine had said, a $1,000 package to the first male and female that crossed the finish line, which included overnight stays to hotels,
Cape May.
dinners. That was the main one, the Cape May. We had an overnight to Congress Hall, 3-course dinner for 2 at the Blue Pig Tavern restaurant. We had an overnight at Peter Shields. with a $100 gift certificate to support Italiana restaurant. I mean, we really organize it great. We've come a long way in just 7 years.
And I have to say, Leslie here, when we first, I mean, I was involved with Jim. He was my best friend. He dragged me on a lot of committees he was involved with too, behind the scenes and stuff that we worked on. Leslie wasn't there. She has grown in the last 7 years, personally doing this for her brother. And he would just be so proud of her, of what she has done and what has become of this race.
I always like to tease, and I say, Jimmy always used to try to get me involved with everything in the community. And I'd always be like, no, Jimmy, here's a donation. I don't have time. I don't have time. And now I say he's having the last laugh, because this starts in May, and it goes all the way up until race day in September. Then I get like 2 or 3 weeks off, and then it's time to start planning these children's Christmas party. And we have 300 munchkins that depend on us. So it's a lot of work. So really, my downtime is January to March, and then those letters start getting written out in the living room, and they're out May 1st.
And like she said, the joke is on us, because Jim always tried to get me to be a part of Unico, and I said, I don't have that nationality in me. I'm fine.
We'll have to send you for that DNA test.
And he always wanted me to like work that La Festa weekend. I'm like, no, I'll come visit you. That's fine. Well, now we laugh because myself and his other good friend is in charge of security, and I'm there every year now too with his race. So the two people who have not an ounce of Italian in us are there.
Yeah, on the front line.
There's a lot of loyalty, a lot of friendships, and every year we even make more friendships, and it's great. It's just a great cause. It's a win-win for everybody, the participants, the causes, and the memory. It means a lot to our family, and even the race committee. They've all become like a second family to me. And like I said, Jermaine was best friends with my brother, and our bond just over the years just got so much tighter and closer.
You know what Jimmy'd say, keep the faith.
Yep.
Well, that's what I say. Jimmy's favorite quote was always keep the faith. We've incorporated into our race, and we do that every year because the more participants and sponsors we could get, the more we could generate and raise money for the children in our community who the proceeds benefit.
Commissioner Cummings?
Well, congratulations on continuing this, and very proud to have you here, and wish you continued success throughout the future.
Thank you.
Commissioner Notarianni?
Great family, great job, great guy, great cause, just a wonderful, wonderful event, and just want to thank you for contributing to the Lackawanna County community and doing all what that you do. And it's a good thing, and it's important to keep the memory of people like Jimmy going strong. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a certificate of recognition. The County of Lackawanna Board of Commissioners does hereby recognize Captain James R. Minicozy Race Committee and honoring of achieving a designation of an individual group providing great works in Lackawanna County, giving this day by Commissioner O'Malley, Commissioner Notarianni, and Commissioner Cummings. Would you like to come forward?
This is parents?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, they should come up to the podium.
That's why it said originally, but you were like, this is my mom, Teresa Minicozy. This is my dad, James P. Minicozy.
Hi, so nice to meet you both.
I'll give you guys a hug, but I got a real bad cold. I'm going to get a second. Okay.
Commissioners,
Yeah, I can't even talk right. How you doing, Mr. Minicozy?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
sure, that's great.
Thank you. Thanks.
Sure
Come on,
hand.
Mr. Minicozy.
All right, get in there. Everybody look here at me, smile, take a couple. Flash, smile, keep smiling, one more. Very good, thank you. Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you. I know. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for your work. Thank you for your work. I love your class.
Okay. Okay.
Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember next year, Labor Day weekend, Captain James R. Minicozy race. You'll be hearing about it in the paper and all over the place. It's going to be a great event again as usual. I'll see you guys later. Thank you. Okay. 19-0255, Small Business Spotlight. Commissioner Cummings.
I have a certificate for Valley Lanes. Cindy I'm not sure how to say Dragua? Is that how? Dragua. Hi, Cindy.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Tell us about your business.
We're located right outside of Carbondale and Childs. My family acquired this business 67 years ago.
Wow.
And it was started by my grandfather, Richard Gezzi. After he passed away, my parents then became in the forefront, and they took the business on and ran full steam with it, adding a lounge because there was no lounge connected to the business prior to 1983. So that was their major endeavor. Now, my parents they've groomed myself and my brother, and we are now the third generation management at Valley Bowling Lanes. We're truly a grassroots family business. There's not a day that door doesn't open that a customer doesn't come in and see one of our family members there.
You literally live right on the grounds, don't you?
We live right next door.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you walk
That's
10 feet, you're at work.
Yes. Totally true, yes.
That's awesome. Third generation. So proud to have you
Yes.
here.
Thank you.
You know, I just, like I always say, businesses like yours are the inspiration of the future generation. You are the future generation that was inspired by your parents and grandparents. So
Yes. Thank you. We really take a lot of effort and pride into providing a sport that anyone can play. We have ramps for even paraplegic people that can come in and they can enjoy a sport of bowling. There's nobody that sits the bench. Everyone can participate. There's no first string or second string. Everyone's name is up there. Everybody bowls the same 10 frames. So there's a lot of equality there. And we have children as young as 3, and our oldest bowler right now is 94.
Oh, wow.
So, we really span the generations with a sport that everyone can enjoy. And we provide a safe environment for children and families to come out and enjoy themselves and family time.
That was a great testament you just gave. Thank you so much. That was
Thank you.
really nice to hear. And, like I said, I'm very proud to have you here. And please give your family my best regards and way to go.
Thank you.
Because,
Thank you.
It's not easy to have a business, first of all, but then to have your children actually become involved and interested is yet another feat in itself. So
Sure.
Congratulations to you for carrying on the legacy of your family.
Absolutely.
Very proud
you.
to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Notarianni?
It's a great spot. It's very close to the Meredith Hose Company
Yes,
in
it is.
downtown Childs,
Yes. Yes, it is.
Carbondale Township.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going in and out of your facility for probably 35 years on occasion. For
Okay.
one event or another. And you have done a great job.
Thank
the
you.
renovations are wonderful. The place is phenomenal. And more people need to get up there and get a look at it, I think. I think there's
I appreciate that. Thank you.
a jewel that people aren't aware of in that part of Lackawanna County. And you keep up the good work, and thanks for doing what you do.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep.
It's a part of the quality of life of Lackawanna County, it really is. My kids, I've taken up there numerous times. They put up the bumper guards and stuff, so
Absolutely.
they wouldn't gutter it and stuff. But great atmosphere. You can feel the family. You can feel the family love inside the building. It's a great area. But you've seen some amazing changes, like when the Casey Highway was built.
Yes.
It's like that's pretty much right there. Like amazing stuff that's
Yeah.
happened.
We went through, I remember that. I was probably only, I'm going to say 10 or 12 when that first started. And we were very nervous. We didn't know how that was going to impact our business.
30 feet to the left or something.
Yeah,
right there.
But it actually serves great. We thought, it's changing the whole dynamic. We're kind of like nestled in the back there. Everybody knew where we were. Then they're going to bring this big road in, and we just didn't know how that was going to impact our business. But actually, it made it easier for promoting our business, for letting people know how they can get there, because everybody knew there was so much talk about the Casey Highway when it was being put in that now we're just off exit 6 on the Casey Highway. So
86, you're right.
yeah, that's kind of our tagline now. So it makes it a great way of letting people know how to get to us. So it was good for advertising.
let's talk about the time, schedule, phone number, if anybody wants to come up
Sure.
to Valley Lanes.
Our website
Oh, sure.
is www.valleybowlinglanes.com, and you can find out any information that you need on our website, from times to open bowling prices to specials. We do company parties. We do fundraisers. We worked with a lot of local youth organizations. We've worked with families after they've had a tragedy. We've done anywhere from a $2,000 fundraiser to when we had the Joe Granville fundraiser. That was a $35,000 fundraiser in one night. So we've ran a lot of different fundraisers to try to help and give back. Our biggest one that we're kicking off right now is we do a Christmas drive. This is our 12th year of doing the Christmas drive. And I'm very proud to say that we started with 4 children. This is kind of my baby that I've born into the business. And we started 12 years ago with 4 children in the German area. And this year, I'm very proud to say we are taking 33 children from the German area. And we do all fundraising, and we coordinate everything through the business, through our bowlers, through companies that we partner with anywhere from beverage distribution to food service, all of that. We try to encompass everything, and everybody kind of looks to this. September, October, our customers are asking, how many children do we have this year? Because it grows every year. How many are we going to do? So I'm very excited to say that we are going to take 34 children from German this year and support that. So it's very
nice.
exciting.
And it's not just bowling. You have the lounge. You have a little restaurant area there. And you do birthday parties, don't you?
We do kids' birthday
Yeah.
parties, yes. We can do all different types of birthday parties, rock and roll birthday parties. It can be as little toddler parties where we can do the dragon ramp birthday parties. We
Talk
do
about
have
that. A lot of people might not realize that.
Okay,
They have actually 3-year-olds are up there bowling. It's
yes,
really neat.
we have a thing called a dragon ramp, and it helps our little toddlers that are old enough to pick up a 6-pound ball, can walk up to the line, put the ball at the top of the dragon's head, and push it down to make sure that the ball has enough speed to get down the lane, and it can knock over some pins to make it exciting for the child as well. So we do have those. We also do we know that sometimes money can be tight with people, so we try to make sure that there are beneficial specials for people of all ages. We have Quarter Mania nights where you can come in, you pay a $5 cover charge to get a wristband, and everything is a quarter. A game of bowling is a quarter. Shoe rental is a quarter. A soda is a quarter. A slice of pizza is a quarter. A hot dog is a quarter. So we try to make it for college students, for adults. It's a later time, so it's mostly adults that would come out from 9 to 11. We also do a family pass. So it's a group of 5 people can bowl for 2 hours, have unlimited bowling, shoe rental, a tray of pizza. Everyone gets a soda for $55. So we try to make it a reasonable day out where you can have something to eat, bowl with your family, do something for 2 hours, enjoy yourself with your family, and have a good time for a reasonable amount of money.
Nice. Very nice. And like you say, your customers are like family now. There's so many people that come and you see them since you're a little kid.
Yeah, it's quite funny. There's many people now that I'm involved in the capacity that I am. There's so many people that say, I remember you when you were just running around in a walker here, and I remember giving you snacks while your mother was bowling. I mean, I truly grew up at the bowling center. And of course, when I hit 16, 17, 18 years old, I thought, no way, I am not doing this. I've been a part of this business my whole life. I'm doing something else. Well, look at me now. Yeah. I have a house next door to my business. I'm there 7 days a week. And honestly, there's not a business I would prefer to do. I absolutely love what I do. It's fun for me every day. I get to know a lot of people. I get involved in a lot of different things. And I just think it's very rewarding. I like being a staple in our community that people can come to, enjoy themselves, know they're going to have a quality time out, and provide that service for people.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You do what you love. That's great.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cummings?
Well, so far your company's been called a jewel by Commissioner Notarianni and recognized as a family fun center by Notarianni said it was a jewel, and Commissioner O'Malley at the Family Center. And I mean, I can't say enough of how proud I am that you're here, but also that that the commissioners agreed to do this, because I really think that people like you are, when you're spotlighted, it's really important for us to recognize you and your family. And I'm just so, our term is coming to an end, and I'm just so proud that I was able to be a part of hearing your story and putting it out to the public so that they know about you and can share that information. And I appreciate it so much, Commissioner Terriani and
It really
Commissioner
matters.
O'Malley,
It really matters.
for allowing me that opportunity. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
With that certificate of recognition, the County of Lackawanna Board of Commissioners does hereby recognize Valley Lanes in honor of achieving the designation of a small business spotlighted in Lackawanna County, given the second day of October 2019 by Commissioner Patrick O'Malley, myself, Commissioner Jerry Natariani. Come on up.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's great to go to work when you love it.
It is. It really is.
Everybody look at me and smile. Couple. Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
I like those stories.
That's what it's about.
Yeah,
It's
it
about
is.
family businesses. It really is.
true.
Private sector businesses.
Very nice, thank you.
Okay, opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Okay. Resolutions 19-0256.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is approving the current payables. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve the following payables. Lackawanna County General Fund numbers 289842 through 290443, inclusive, totaling $2,583,272.11. Electronic fund transfers, including all payroll accounts, totaling $6,161,509.91.
Okay. Controller DeBillio, everything is good?
Good morning, Commissioners. Yes, everything's in order. All invoices have been audited and approved by the Controller's Office. There are two small bills related to the Attorney General's prison probe, totaling $1,560. And there are a couple of United Neighborhood Center checks, but not related to economic development.
Thank you.
Everything's in order.
Good. Does the board have any other questions?
I'm just a little bit annoyed by that legal fee. I mean, after seeing the news this week again, and, you know, sorry, had to just put a jibe in there.
It annoys me at the fact that we invited them in and they acted like they were coming in after us.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
I'd like to make a motion approving current payables. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 19-0244. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is accepting the quote from Intrado Systems. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve the quote from Intrado Systems Corporation for a 6-month software and maintenance agreement renewal to cost $49,704 for the Department of Emergency Services. Here to speak on this resolution is Emergency Services Director Dave Hahn.
Good morning.
Dave.
This is a maintenance renewal for our 911 switch system, which is we are applying for right now to have replaced. But this is to continue for the next 6 months, where we have 24-hour monitoring and 24-hour service for our 911 switch if it goes down or if something breaks. This contract covers us to maintain our 911 system for the next 6 months.
Does the board have any questions? I'd like to make a motion accepting the quote from Intrado Systems. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And don't forget, you take your granddaughter up to Valley Lanes.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
See you later, Dave. 19-0245.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is approving a juvenile probation grant. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve the Juvenile Court Judges Commission Grant fiscal year 2019 through 2020 for the Department of Juvenile Probation in the amount of $247,306. And here to speak on this is our Juvenile Probation Deputy Chief, Melissa Pawlowski.
Good morning, Commissioners. As you know, we have been participating in the Juvenile Court Judges Commission grant since July of 2013. This grant assists our department with the implementation and the development of the Juvenile Justice System Enhancement Strategy. This strategy is a statewide approach to help develop a unified level of services for youthful offenders. It builds stronger relationships with families, schools, and community-based service providers. The innovative approach helps reduce recidivism and uses evidence-based practices while treating juveniles while protecting the community. These strategies have been utilized for the past several years and will help us to continue to improve the delivery of services at no additional expense to our department or the county. This grant is in the amount of $247,306.
Does the board have any questions? I'd like to make a motion approving the juvenile probation grant. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Commissioners.
19-0246.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is authorizing Community Development Block Grant Program revisions. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the County of Lackawanna does hereby authorize the submissions of revisions for the following Community Development Block Grant programs to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development. Number one, Lackawanna County, on behalf of Archibald Borough Federal Fiscal Year 2014 Community Development Block Grant Program, the revision will transfer the remaining funds from sewer water improvement line item for the Borough of Archibald Joyce Street Stormwater Improvement Project, $24,179, and the remaining funds from the Public Facilities line item for the Borough of Archibald ADA Elevator Reconstruction Project, $12,059.76. The funds will be transferred to the Sewer Water Improvement line for the Archibald First Street Culvert Replacement Project. Number two, Lackawanna County, on behalf of Clark Summit Borough Federal Fiscal Year 2014 Community Development Block Grant Program, the revision will transfer the remaining funds from the street improvement line item for the Borough of Clark Summit Depot Street Improvement Project, $32,413.37. The funds will be transferred to the street improvement line item for the Clark Summit Pedestrian Audible Street Signal Project. Number three, Lackawanna County, on behalf of Dixon City Borough Fiscal Year 2014 Community Development Block Grant Program, will transfer funds from the Rehabilitation Single Unit line item for the Borough of Dixon City Housing Rehabilitation, $30,584.68, and the remaining funds from the Water Sewer Improvement line item for the Borough of Dixon City Commercial Street Sanitary Sewer Project, $9,896.30. The funds will be transferred to the Street Improvement line item for the Dixon City Bowman Street Sidewalk and Curb Cut Project. Number four, Lackawanna County, on behalf of Dunmore Borough Fiscal Year 2014 Community Development Block Grant Program, will transfer the remaining funds from the Water Sewer Improvement line item for the Borough of Dunmore Laurel Street Paving and Storm Sewer Improvement Project, $50,000, and the remaining funds from the Public Facilities line item for the Borough of Dunmore McHale Park Handicapped Accessibility Project, $82,670.26. The funds will be transferred to the street improvements line item for the Dunmore Borough Mill Street Sidewalk and Roadway Improvements Project. Number five, Lackawanna County, on behalf of Glenburn Township Federal Fiscal Year 2014 Community Development Block Grant Program, the revision will transfer the remaining funds from the Public Facilities line item for the Borough of Mayfield Borough Building ADA Ramp Reconstruction Project, $41,400. The funds will be transferred to the Public Facilities line item for the Glenburn Township Building Ramp and Platform Repairs. Number six, Lackawanna County, on behalf of German Borough Fiscal Year 2014 Community Development Block Grant Program, the revision will transfer the remaining funds from the Water Sewer Improvement line item for the Borough of Music Solace, Edgebrook, Wood Lawn Street Projects, $100,991. The funds will be transferred to the Water Sewer Improvement line item for the Borough of German, Delaware Street Drainage Improvements. And number seven, Lackawanna County, on behalf of Scott Township Federal Fiscal Year 2014 Community Development Block Grant Program, the revision will transfer the remaining funds from the street improvement line item for the Scott Township, Hermel, Hilltop, and Mary Streets Improvement Projects, $4,267.65. The remaining funds will be transferred to the Public Facilities line item for Scott Township Building ADA Elevator Project. Be it resolved, the county has complied with the terms of the Pennsylvania Act 179 and has met all citizen participation requirements in connection with the above-mentioned revisions. Here to speak on it is Brenda Sacco.
Good morning. This is a standard resolution for the Community Development Block Grant Program. It is giving notice of the submission of the revisions to DCED so that the money can be moved from projects that have already been completed to projects that are going to be in process or are in process. This is for Archibald, Clark Summit, Dixon City, Dunmore, Glenburn, German, and Scott Township. Again, this is part of the citizen participation requirement. Any questions?
Does the board have any questions? Okay, I'd like to make a motion authorizing the Community Development Block Grant Program revisions. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thanks, Red. 19-0247.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is entering into an agreement with the University of Pittsburgh. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve an agreement between the University of Pittsburgh and its Child Welfare Education for Leadership CWEL program and the Department of Human Services Office of Youth and Family Services for students Megan Rose Pace and Jessica Lynn Bierski. Here to speak on this resolution is our Director of Human Services, Bill Browning.
Morning,
Bill.
Commissioners. This is the frequently discussed CWEL program. It provides a master's in social work to participants at no cost to the employee. It is state and federally sponsored. It decreases turnover because during the entire time that they're going for their master's, they're required to remain in the agency, and then 2 years after. Most of our supervisors and administrators do have master's level education because of this program.
Does the board have any questions for Mr. Browning? I'd like to make a motion entering into an agreement with the University of Pittsburgh. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
19-0248.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is approving a contract amendment. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve a contract amendment between the Lackawanna County Area Agency on Aging and Arthur T. Moretti, CPA, for forensic accounting services for the contract period of July 1st, 2017 through September 30th, 2020. Here to speak on this resolution is our Director of Area Agency on Aging, Jason Kavulich.
Good morning, Jason.
Commissioners. This is an extension of our existing contract with Arthur Moretti. This contract is used specifically for victims of crime that we work with, specifically on financial exploitation cases. So this is a very important service. We're unique in other counties. They don't have such a luxury. We've been able to offset the cost of this service through a grant through PCCD and been able to use this for prosecution purposes and also for restitution purposes for the victims.
I'd like to make a motion approving the contract amendments. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner Valley?
Yes. 19-0249.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is approving a AAA Professional Services Agreement. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve the Professional Services Agreement between the Lackawanna County Area Agency on Aging and the Alzheimer's Association Greater Pennsylvania Chapter for Caregiver Support Programs. Here once again to speak on this resolution is the Director of Area Agency on Aging, Jason Kavulich.
This contract will expand our caregiver support work. We intend to support the Alzheimer's Association with their annual Caregivers Conference and provide some services to the caregivers and the care recipients that attend this conference, as well as hopefully enrolling them in the caregiver support program so that they can have the added support that those caregivers need to care for their loved one. This is just part of our expansion project. We have expanded our caregiver program aggressively each and every year. It is one of our few programs that is completely federally funded, and we've been unique in that we've been able to continuously draw down extra dollars for this program as opposed to most counties which have been flatlined.
Does the board have any questions?
Yes, Chairman, I do. Could you just explain a little bit more about how the stipend works and where it comes from and who receives it, please, just like the amounts, because I think of people, if they know this, they might utilize it more. Jason, you know.
Well, if a person qualifies economically, we would screen them, and there's a lot of different variables because everybody's situation is different. So if they pass the screening for economic reasons and they were able to qualify, they can be reimbursed up to $500 a month to purchase services that they need to care for their loved one. So for this specific program with the Alzheimer's Association, if they're going to attend the conference and they need support to have their loved one cared for while they attend the conference, they'll be able to use a service like adult daycare and be reimbursed for that service, so that they can attend the conference and know that their loved one's taken care of. We're also hoping to have some personal care assistance at the conference so that those people can bring their loved one with them. And if they need to use the personal care aid, they can while they stay and participate in the conference and learn about all the resources that are available to those individuals. But we encourage anybody who would like to know more about the program to please contact the office. We're always happy to screen individuals to see if they qualify. A reimbursement can be used for anything from personal care to adult daycare to also supplies and such that are needed to take care of a person, such as, consumables that we call them, either Depends or things like that, pads, other necessities.
Do they utilize these for private duty home care workers?
They could hire a person to do that private duty, or they can hire a loved one to do that if they would like to come in and help somebody.
And do they have to be approved through your department in order to?
Not in that program. We do request things like criminal checks and things like that to make sure we're not setting ourselves up for an exploitation case. But the rules are very broad, so that if you had a niece that was coming in to help you, that could qualify pretty easily. So.
But it doesn't have to be a family member. It could be an agency as well.
It could be an agency as well. So if it was an agency we didn't contract with that the individual chose to contract with, that's acceptable too.
Is that a conflict for me, John? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion approving a AAA professional service agreement. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 19-0251.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is appointments to the Lackawanna County Assessment Board. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby reappoint the following individuals to the Lackawanna County Assessment Board with a one-year term to commence immediately and expire on October 31st, 2020. Don Hart from Dunmore, Lewis Evans from Roaringbrook Township, Shirley Barrett from Archibald, and William Nicholas from Jefferson Township.
I'd like to make a motion for the appointments to the Lackawanna County Assessment Board. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 19-0257.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is an appointment to the Lackawanna Heritage Valley Authority. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby appoint the following individual to the Lackawanna Heritage Valley Authority. Dominic Perini from Jessup, term to commence immediately and expire on December 31st, 2022.
I'd like to make a motion to the appointment of Lackawanna Heritage Valley Authority. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 19-0258.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is appointments to the Health and Welfare Authority. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby make the following reappointments to the Scranton-Lackawanna Health and Welfare Authority. Vincent Obel from Oliphant, term to begin immediately and expire on December 31st, 2022. Jerry Prescucci from Archibald, term to begin immediately and expire on December 31st, 2023. Victor Giambroni from Scranton, term to begin immediately and expire on January 4th, 2023. Timothy Farrell, Clark Summit, term to begin immediately and expire on December 31st, 2022.
I'd like to make the motion for the appointments to the Health and Welfare Authority. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Motions 19-0250.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is a motion to award the construction of the Lackawanna County Maintenance Storage Shed for as follows. General Trades, D&M Construction, the lowest responsible bidder at $596,300. HVAC Scranton Electric Cooling and Heating, the lowest responsible bidder at $29,590. Plumbing, Cosgrove's the lowest responsible bidder at $79,500. And electrical, Lieber Electric, the lowest responsible bidder at $52,200. Gary Cavill is not available to speak. Don Frederickson will address the resolution.
Thank you, Commissioners. Yes, Commissioners, this was done through a public bid process. The bids were open on September the 5th, 2019. The Controller's Office was present. I believe there was no issue with that, and these are the lowest responsible bidders for the maintenance shed project up at the Roads and Bridges property.
And this is the money that's out of the capital improvements that we set up 2 years ago.
That is correct, Commissioners, yes.
Okay. Does the board have any questions?
I just asked for commentary by the controller just to let people know the process, please, while you were there.
Yes, this was a sealed bid process, Commissioner, so it was advertised. The Controller's Office accepted all the bids at our office, sealed. We brought them sealed to the bid opening, the public bid opening, and our office opened up the bids at the bid opening, and the following 4 companies were the successful bidders.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to make a motion to award the construction of Lackawanna County maintenance storage shed. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Opportunity for the public to address the board.
Don't everybody run up at once.
Hi, Joan. How are you?
Joan Odawan at Scranton, 101 Penn Avenue. I was very pleased to see that we had only, what is it, Gary, a minimal increase in the legal fees? Basically,
Yeah,
a
just
trickle.
$1,560
Right.
additional.
You know, let's look at this track record of where we stand on 5 of the 7 trials.
That's right. Let's do that.
Do you think it would be possible for Pennsylvania Attorney General to stand up in a press conference, if not now, when the 7th trial is over, and explain to state and county taxpayers what we got for our money?
Yeah.
Okay, so far, there were 2 no contest pleas. There were 2 acquittals, and 1 case where charges were dropped. And how much just at the county level? What was, you know, we're pushing $700,000 in just in terms of legal fees. I don't know what the running total is right now for salaries, but you're looking at back pay and overtime for somebody to cover the thing, and, you know, God knows what lawsuits might trickle out of this and who might get sued. And those legal fees and other payments, and whatever costs the state incurred. I'd like to see him stand up, you know, even if there are 2 victories on the last 2 trials, which apparently is not going to be likely. I would just like him to stand up there and, A, give us a grand total for state and county funds, and then explain to us, you know, why this was a good expenditure of our tax dollars, because it seems an awful lot of money for very little return on our investment. Now, I more than anyone else, you know, I believe that people who break the law should be held accountable, and I have no problem with that. But before you take someone to court, you better have a case you can win, or all you're going to do is embarrass yourself, and it costs money to do so. So I still want to keep tracking how much money is spent, but I think somebody needs to pose that question to the Attorney General.
I think you just did.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking? Pat, is Sunday the marathon?
It's next Sunday.
The 6th or the following?
13th.
The 13th. Okay. So be seeing you down at Cooper's?
Yep. She will.
He's got
I
pneumonia.
hope to be there
Pete.
myself.
There's no way.
Get over it.
There's no way you're going to do that. You're sick now. How are you going to? Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
You
I
don't
wish
sound
it was
well
tomorrow
over
morning.
there.
This-
Okay.
this-
Keep taking those drugs. You'll be ready.
This will clear up really quick after a couple miles, let me tell you that much.
Somebody get.
Okay,
Where's Dave
but-
Hahn? Make sure he's following behind
Yeah,
somewhere.
but at any
close.
rate, I would like to see someone, you know, ask those questions of the state attorney general and his staff. Okay, I don't care how bright you think you are, you still have to make a balanced judgment on whether you have a case to take to court or not. I mean, we all know there are a lot of people that everybody sure is guilty as hell, but if you can't win in court, you don't go to court. Because, that's not what the judicial system is for. It's not for you to vent and, feel good and everything else.
Run for office.
Something's not clicking here when 3 out of 7 were complete busts and 2 were, just no contest pleas, there was going to be no fighting in court. 2 more, and then we're going to have to tally up the grand total, and it's not going to be pretty.
No, it's
Thank you.
not. Thank you, Joan.
Thanks, Joan. Okay, anyone else? Okay, commissioners, other business.
Well, I guess I'll just start with where Joan left off. I mean, I've been saying this forever since I'm here because this happened in 2016. And yes, we have to pay employees to cover for those that are out, and then we have to pay those that are out because they're on administrative leave, in addition to everything else that the costs are. Not to mention the apparent black stain they tried to put on our county, as though, we don't need any more black stains, we get another one. When I was recognized by President Trump in Harrisburg, Secret Service literally questioned me about the fact that our offices were raided and were concerned about that issue. That came up before he was allowed to speak. I mean, it's ridiculous. I think that if there's charges brought, there's charges brought, but they have to be legitimate charges. And, the reason we sent it up wasn't because of a question of guilt or innocence. It was a question of whether the people that were going to claim guilt or innocence had a conflict. That was it. So, because they knew the person. So I would pose, the Scranton Times is here. Hopefully they will pose the question to the AG today and tell them that it's not coming from the commissioners, it's coming from the public that are asking the question, not us. So maybe that'll hold a little bit more weight, Joan, since a actual person from the community is coming to the commissioner's office asking that question and posing it to the AG and not any of the commissioners. Maybe we'll get an answer to it, and maybe they'll actually ask it this time. Which then might just segue right into the next discussion I wanted to talk about, which was this referendum used as shields in the Scranton Times, on September 30th, 2019. I guess they just cannot help themselves but to use my name and your name, Commissioner, because anything
We're
to
special.
draw a negative light on us, even though we aren't even candidates anymore, must be the goal. I just, it has to be, because what else can you say to this article, which the very next day they had to print a retraction? And it's amazing. An editorial published Monday, referendums used as shields, stated incorrectly that the Scranton School Board could have changed its business tax structure without a referendum. The State Department of Education required the board to put the matter on the ballot. Well, you know what? I have the minutes from that meeting. And that is exactly what the Scranton School Board said while they were here. So I'm not sure why the Scranton Times reporter that was here, did she not tape what had occurred? Because I know Mark couldn't stay because we had a prison board meeting that day. So he had to rush over there, so there was no video. But we do, fortunately, have the tape and the minutes. Thank you, Tracy. And this is the very reason why it's important to get these accurately. Because it was stated in there, a motion was made by Judge Munley, Solicitor John Oddie, referendum looking to transition from a business mercantile tax to a revenue-neutral payroll tax, asking the citizen to make that decision. We are a school board district, and under Act 1, we cannot change any tax without a referendum. Let me just repeat that. We are a school district, and under Act 1, we cannot change any tax without a referendum. September 18, 2019, at our Board of Elections meeting. It was stated in the meeting. So then that just begs the question, why print anything that's false? Is it just to put a negative out there to against two sitting commissioners? Because that's the only thing I can come up with. It was right in the minutes that this was, they had no other alternative. They had no other choice. You know, and then people wonder why they called the media and why they call them our enemy. Well, this is why, because of things like this. You know, I mean, I have 3 full books of attacks, basically, of negative nonsense, cartoons and crazy stuff that the press puts out there, and it's just ridiculous, and people believe this stuff. That had nothing to do with our referendum. Nothing. It's just infuriating. But you know what? Somehow the public believes this stuff. I don't know why. I really don't, because it's just they're just fake news. It's proven day in and day out, and it's despicable. And I just don't understand how they get away with it, and how. I mean, I really don't understand how they get away with it, but I mean, I'll just go on forever. I'm going to let you complete that thought when you talk about it, because I'm just furious over it. I think it's ridiculous. So, there's the lovely media. And then I wanted to talk about the issue on vaping for marijuana safety. Another thing that the media is totally ignoring and will not print the negatives in regards to marijuana use. There is no studies that are proving efficacy for this stuff. You know, and they won't print it because our governor is pushing it. And I guess because certain, I mean, I don't understand why. I don't know the reasoning. I can guess, but I don't know. They're putting this oil-based pot in a vape. And they think somehow that an oil-based item isn't going to stick to their lungs and kill them. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't. You know, I mean, they put it on. Let me just give you an example to the public of how they talk about this on the news. It was on WBRE, and you know, I wanted to watch it to see how they were going to present it, because I knew what was causing it. I researched it. I knew what was causing those deaths and what it was that was in common, and it was marijuana that was in common that was killing these people. Because that's how you can only use it in the law that they wrote. So you can't smoke it. You can only vape it. Somehow that makes it safer. This is what the government decided. You know, not a doctor, the government. So WBRE reported it as these users had one thing in common: THC. So how many people are sitting there thinking, oh, well, THC is marijuana, THC is the other drug, just like you say CBD and they don't know what that is. Anything to skirt the fact that marijuana does not have many positives about it. And you know, there's going to come a time when they're all going to have to answer for it. And you know what? I hope I'm alive to see it, because somebody's going to get hurt by this stuff, and they already are. They already are. And somebody's going to have to answer for it. And unfortunately, I believe that that's going to be a lawsuit that they can come after the government for, since they're the ones that are illegally promoting it and allowing it to happen in our communities. And it's just, it's not, it should never happen without the testing that shows its efficacy and safety. And that's exactly what's happening. And I watched the episode on that, vaping. And the people that testified in Harrisburg were literally saying, there's not been tests on this, there's no efficacy on it, we can't prove safety of vaping. Same exact words that could prove the same exact thing for medical marijuana, or any marijuana for that matter. And this governor's out there trying to promote it to be recreational. I say to the public, you better get on the phones, because he's going to push this, and he's going to write an executive order, and he's going to have it happen. He's already going to have it happen for low-level usage. So it's going to happen. He's there for another 3 years. So if people don't start screaming on the phones and talking about it, they're just going to push it right through, because the media is not going to report on the negatives. They're just not. They're not going to do it. They are skirting and shirking their responsibility to the public health. That's the way I see it. Sorry, just a little bit upset over that. I want to thank Commissioner O'Malley because it looks like we're going to get our monument at the courthouse for John 1513, and Marie's not here, but Joan, if you could pass that message on to her. You know, that's been going on for a while, and it looks like we're going to get that done soon, right?
Yep.
Budget process is ongoing. There are many, many questions about where we're going to cut or not cut, and you know, I look forward to the public meetings that are coming up with that, those meetings. Also, on the monuments at the courthouse, the one steel, what was it called, that I had moved?
The Hope Horn.
Hope Horn. Hope Horn looks beautiful over at, doesn't it?
Yep.
At the Everhart Museum.
Perfect spot.
I was sick all last week. I do apologize for not being there because I was so thrilled that I mean, that was since I got here, right, Commissioners?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so happy. That statue was so dangerous where it was, you know? And, you know, Maureen did a great job. If you get an opportunity, if you can't see it in Scranton, you should go online and see the video of it because it really did come out. I mean, it actually looks nice now. It's not like chipped all over the place, and you know the colors were horrible. That it was so worn down. But I want to just express my gratitude to everyone that worked on that project to try and help get it done, and to the commissioners for supporting me on that because, you know, it's just something that I can put a chalk mark next to that I actually had gotten accomplished, and I'm proud of it, and it came out really good. It was a good thing for the community, and even for the arts community, and the woman that was involved, and she was a local artist, so brought some more name recognition to her, so I was really happy about that. Thank you. And then also would like to say thank you to those who re-upped their appointments on our boards. Now, I don't really know any of these people, but we don't have a lot of people coming in to apply for these volunteer positions on these boards. So if they're going to re-up their appointment, I'm really thrilled that they are going to do that, and I thank them for taking the time out to do that. In my almost 4 years here, I've had about 4 or 5 requests to sit on boards as a volunteer. I've, you know, talked to other people, asking them, please consider sitting on a board because we have many, many openings. And I again reach out to the public and ask them to, if you're interested, please get in touch with our office and ask to sit on any number of boards that actually have expired terms that people chose not to re-up for, or you know, just there's nobody that's interested in those specific areas. You know, it's a public service. You learn a lot about what's happening, and you have a vote in regards to what's going on in your county through some of these boards. So I would encourage anyone that's looking to get more involved to take a look at the list on our county website as to what board they might be interested in sitting on, and please join us in doing some of that work and make a difference in your community. It is very important. I believe it's important, and I'm so proud of those that did step up to join and be a part of our...
That includes Joan. Joan's on the library board.
Joan Hodewanitz and Marie Schumacher, the 2 women in this county that just are everywhere. They go to school board meetings, they volunteer for board members, but Joan is now, what are you on, what did they put, are you president? The ethics board. Couldn't have found a better person. I'm not kidding, you know. You tell it like it is, and you're honest, and, you know, no holds bar, and that's what people need, you know.
I see Joan on 16 this week. She was good. She was on the news this week.
You know, I'm sorry. I was sick most of the week. I slept. I didn't watch anything, but I did get catch a couple of them. But, yeah, it was, I'm really proud of you and those like you that really just, you know, You're in the library. You brought a lot of attention to the library. You do a lot of things with them. Yeah, she's constantly doing stuff with them. One of the best appointments we've made. You know, I mean, everybody that sits on these boards has contributes something. And, you know, I really am very proud that we were able to not only put people on some boards, but actually see them re-up their positions. I may not know them, but I thank them, whoever, like all of these people we just voted on. You know, I just think that it takes time out of your day, and it is a volunteer position, but you do make a difference, and it does show that the people in our community are trying to make government better, and very proud of that fact. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Terriani?
I only want to make sure that everyone does realize that Commissioner Cummings is the one that spearheaded getting that Hope sculpture to where it belongs. It's in a great place now. It is where it belongs. And she did a great job doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate that.
I actually got an opportunity to go up for the Hope Horn dedication. It's called, the actual artwork is called the Red Wing. But with that being said, you know, I mean, it is the perfect situation for it. First of all, when it was over the courthouse, it was right at sidewalk level. Now it's up about approximately 8 inches above, maybe a foot, on a cement slab.
Yeah.
And it's repainted, they sandblasted, everything else is perfect. And, you know, Hope Horn's artwork is in the Everhart Museum. So it is a great opportunity for people to see what she did, literally, when they walk into the Everhart Museum. And they are going to have a sign talking about what the Red Wing was and everything that she did to make it. And actually, the county's had it for, like, I think it's like 1978. Like, it's here a long time over the courthouse. It was in different areas, but I think that the spot it's in now is perfect. If you're looking at the Everhart Museum, it's to the very right. You go right by it on the sidewalk. So I think it's going to be a great addition to the Everhart. The referendums use the shields. I didn't get this either. You know, I mean, we lived through that meeting that we had here with the school board, but it's always the same stuff. Commissioner O'Malley and Commissioner Cummings, epic act of political cowardice in 2007 by dodging responsibility for reassessment. No, it was very simple. I mean, this was a big issue. And Commissioner Terriani wanted reassessment, Commissioner Cummings didn't want reassessment, and I was in the middle of it. And we let the citizens vote this referendum. We even went out and tried to educate as many as we possibly could. I mean, this was about their financial situation. This was, you know, I mean, it could affect you two ways. You know, I mean, your taxes are going up, or they're going down, or hopefully they're staying the same. You know, I mean, this was something that we felt that our citizens should have the opportunity to make a decision on. And I think that this Board of Commissioners kept it really in the middle of the road. And when we even went uneducated, it wasn't for or against. It was right in the middle, acknowledging what reassessment was. And the citizens spoke. And for those people at our local newspaper, you know what I mean, we work on behalf of the citizens every single day. I think this administration has done incredible work. And this was just another area where we made sure that the citizens had a say. And a lot of times in government, the citizens don't have a say. We made sure that they had the opportunity. And they said no to reassessment, overwhelmingly.
And if I can, Chairman,
Go ahead.
I mean, I was against that from day one, even before. I campaigned against that. And regardless of what lies other candidates make up, the fact of the matter is I have never been for reassessment, never. The only way I would approve it is if there was some kind of decrease in taxes. And, you know, like, it's just amazing that this continues to be something that they just jibe at. And, you know, they're all running from reassessment today. Nobody's up for reassessment today, are they?
No one is.
So just want to make sure that I got that out. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your
No,
speech.
that's fine. and get back to the AG. You know, the big thing is, you know, Joe comes in and asks about the numbers and stuff, you know, what's going on, and we have the court hearings and some of the people who actually pled, and they pled to probation. You know what I mean? They didn't plead to go to prison. I don't even think they pled to felonies. It was like misdemeanors, the ones that did plead, and the other ones just won outright in court. You gotta understand, you know what I mean, this board, we understood there was an issue going on at the prison, and we asked our district attorney to investigate it, and he handed up to the AG's office. And the part that always bothered me about the reporting on it is, it's always looked at like we
We're under investigation.
We were under investigation.
We're not.
We weren't. We asked them to come in. And even the raid that day, that drove me nuts. How can you raid somebody who asks you to come in? How do you raid somewhere? I mean, they should have just said, you know, we're coming in, we'd like to look through different records and your different archives. You know what I mean? Very simple. You know what I mean? Why would we be running to hide stuff if we asked them to come in? And I lived through that. I was in the building that day because we had an airport meeting. And they went through the whole building like stormtroopers. And look, I understand, you know, an act of showing strength and all this stuff, but not when you ask them to come in. If they came and raided us because there was something underhanded being done, I understand it.
Yeah.
But when we asked them to come in, we were acknowledging that we needed someone to take a look at what was going on at the prison. You know, we wanted that. There was no corruption, and that would be painted right out there in the paper that we were corrupt. This government has done everything to make sure there's no corruption. This last 3 years and 9 months has been the best it could possibly be for county government in general. And I'm just going to name a couple things. No tax increases, making sure our finances are in line, good fund balance, making sure quality of life opportunities were out there to be had for our citizens, consolidation of county government in a building that all we had was leases and rent receipts, you know, and even brought up that was going to be millions and millions and millions over. No, this was a great project, and there was a lot of work and time that went into this. And this all happened in 3 years and 9 months, and so much more. And we're going to talk about a lot more about that over the next so many meetings, because I'm not sure how many people understand exactly what the government did. And we're not toting our own horn. We work on behalf of the citizens, and we were doing what was right on their behalfs every day. Just want to remind everybody, Electric City Trolley is celebrating 20 years in October. A lot of great things going on, so make sure you go over Electric City Trolley. I think we're going to be having them come in to talk about Electric City Trolley at the next meeting. And next Sunday, October 13th, the 24th Annual Steamtown Marathon. All monies benefit St. Joseph's. Please come on out. Cheer on the runners. From Forest City to the courthouse on Washington Avenue at the historical Lackawanna Courthouse for the finish. Anybody wants to come out, please, 10, 15, 10, 20, make sure you're downtown on 200 block Washington Avenue. There's going to be great finishes. You're going to see a lot of life stories played out in those last 2 blocks. People carrying their kids across the finish lines, people half crawling across the finish lines, that's going to be me, and a little bit of everything. So please come on out, and I'd just like to thank Steamtown for all the monies that they've given to St. Joseph's. They do a great job. And the other is the economic impact. People don't realize all our hotels get filled up, restaurants, gas, you name it. These people are coming in 2 to 3 days before. They're coming in on Friday, stay until Monday, Columbus Day weekend. So I want to also wish everyone a happy and safe Columbus Day weekend, a happy, safe Columbus Day. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.